Hey folks, it's Mark here, the Oz DeFi Association president, and I've got another of the Explainer series, this time on a really new function that came out from ChatGPT. It's called custom instructions, and I tell you, it saves a heap of time. So let's check it out here. We're gonna move to my next screen here, and as you can see, this is OpenAI. They put out the details about custom instructions. You can see what it's all about here. Basically, it lets you preload information so that you don't have to load it up every single chat. And I'll show you what I mean by that. So they've got here some details about what you could do. You could have custom instructions for a lesson plan. In this case, it's someone that's working on science and education programs. And you actually give it details about how you would like it to respond. So they've got it for a lesson plan. They've got it for code generation. And they have it for a grocery list as well. I'll show you how we're using it at Not Centralized, my venture studio, which works in the blockchain and AI space. And you can see how this might translate to what you're doing as well. Okay, as you can see here, I'm on my ChatGPT page. And what I'll do is I'll show you first of all how you turn on custom instructions. So you have to go to your settings, and then you've got the beta features here. And you've got the custom instructions box over here. So you can turn that on and off. You have to turn it on. Once it's on, you can click on this new field, which is custom instructions. Now you've got two sections here. The first one is giving ChatGPT a little bit of background about how you would like it to know about what it is that you're doing. It gives you examples here. Where are you based? What do you do for work? What are your hobbies and interests? What subjects you can talk about for hours, etc. So it depends on how you're using ChatGPT. For me, I primarily use it for work. So instead of me having to load something up like this, like in this case, I'm a consultant for the venture studio, Not Centralized what it is, some of the things that Not Centralized does, such as product development and research, basically advisory kind of stuff, capital raising, strategic advisory, and also ecosystem development. So we run two communities, the Data Science and AI Association, which I help run as the president there, and I'm also the president of the Oz DeFi Association, where you're watching this channel. And then I've also given it a bit of background about one of our flagship products that we have created, which is called Trade Flows, which is being used for various industries, especially in the construction space, where we are building tools to help those that don't have transparency around payments and supply chain to have more of that, to ease the burden that we're seeing all over with construction company collapses. Anyway, I load that up. You've only got about 1,500 words that you can use here. And then you can also do this thing where you tell it how you would like it to respond. So I'm telling it I want it to respond as a technology thought leader with a background in data science, blockchain, AI, and finance. So all of that information is something that you would normally load into each and every chat. When ChatGPT came out with the ability for you to share conversations, so that you could have, wherever that conversation ended, you could share it with anyone and they could pick it up further. That was used by many to save previously loaded kind of conversations with background on your company. Instead of doing all of that, and you can still do that, you can now do this. Although you have to watch out because there is a limit here of the 1,500 words. In this one, I've used 1,300 of the 1,500 characters, I think it is, not words. So yep, we've got that. We'll keep that one there. And next we'll see how we use it. So in this first test, I'm going to show you how we use it in GPT 3.5. So the instructions I've got here are, there was a Four Corners episode during the week that was highlighting the issues in the building and construction industry in Australia. Talk about this problem and how you would use tech to solve it and the tools that can help. So because it's 3.5, it doesn't have access to the internet. So I can't put in what the actual video was, but we can see here that it talks about things from both a blockchain and a data science angle, which is really interesting. So blockchain for supply management, smart contracts for payment disputes, AI-driven project management, utilizing AI for project management to optimize scheduling, etc. So it's answering in the context of the custom instructions that I've given it. Now let's take a look at GPT-4. Here we have GPT-4, and in this case, I'm just using the default version, which is not connected to the internet. Let's see what it says. Takes a little bit more time here. It's a little bit slow, but it's still pretty fast. I mean, compared to where it was back in November, really interesting. So it hasn't got the details of the exact Four Corners episode, but it is guesstimating here what some of these problems are that it knows about in the construction industry, and talks about safety, labor shortages, lack of transparency, cost overruns. And then it talks about how it would use blockchain like Ethereum or Hyperledger Fabric here. Interestingly, I gave it info about trade flows and it doesn't actually talk about that. So in this case here, you might have to re-roll again, or you would re-prompt it, but I will ask it here, and what about trade flows? Because I was expecting it to answer about that. But now that it's got the information about what trade flows is, it can actually talk here within the context of this chat without me having to tell it what trade flows is, because it's got it in the custom instructions. So the next one we'll actually use one of the GPT plugins and see how it works there. And here we are back on GPT-4. This time I'll go to the plugins. I've got the videoinsights.io plugin loaded. There is an older Video Insights one which limited how many minutes a video could be. So this one actually goes longer. I've got my instructions here to look at this Four Corners episode. I've actually provided the video link this time off YouTube. Let's take a look at what it does. So it'll take a bit of time here, and it will, you can see, use the plugin. If you click on the drop downs, you can actually see what it actually does. So in this case, it's missed something there. Oh no, it was able to get it. Okay, so we've got the details here. Looks like it's got the transcript there. And yeah, this is what it is. It's giving you details about the video, which talked about Porter Davis, talked about unethical business practices, supply chain issues, etc., etc. Now it talks about how it would address that, given that it's got the custom instructions of being a blockchain and AI expert. And then let's have a look here. It talks about some of the tools it would use. Does not mention trade flows. No, it does not. So again, it's missed that one. So yeah, might have to re-prompt it to do that. But I could ask it here about trade flows, and it will tell me what that tool could be used to actually help this situation. So there you have a few things going on, custom instructions. It's there to save a whole heap of time. Definitely try it out today, and watch and subscribe and like and share this series for more of these kinds of episodes. Cheers.